Remember your first car? Your first big vacation? Your baby's first steps? Life offers many rewarding experiences. Shouldn't your bank do the same? Malvern Federal Savings Bank create a rewarding banking experience.
Hi, I'm John DeBella, and this is your Classic Rock Update, brought to you by Malvern Federal Savings Bank. And this week, we start out with U2 bassist Adam Clayton. It seems he's going to sue the band's business manager, Gabby Smith, and two other accountants who were there because of negligence. He is out a lot of money. How did he lose all of this money? It was ripped off by his housekeeper. How much money did she steal? $2 million. Carol Hawkins managed to start by taking a couple of thousand a day and ended up stealing $2 million. He actually forgave her at one point. But at $2 million, Adam felt his business manager should have been seeing that. But $2 million by his cleaning lady. Obviously, she was well named. Ron Wood says the door is wide open for Rod Stewart to rejoin the reunited Faces in the near future. Wood, along with co-founders Ian McLaughlin and Kenny Jones, will perform this August in Sussex, along with Simply Red singer Mick Hucknall and the Sex Pistols bassist Glenn Matlock. Woody went on to explain that Rod had to sit out due to scheduling clashes, not bad blood. To quote him, "We haven't ruled Rod out, it's just that his schedule is totally crossing over exactly when we wanted him." Speaking of Ron Wood, he has been forced to evict the widow of his brother Art from a house that he bought for them in 1991. It seems that he has to give half of everything he owns to his ex-wife Jo, and this house is included. It's a $900,000 home, and Woody feels terrible about it. According to an unnamed source, Ronnie is so devastated by the entire thing, he can't even bring himself to speak to his sister-in-law Angela. The first of John Mellencamp's two summer releases hit stores this week, the 54-song box set titled The Rural Route 7609. Now, what that means, according to John, is, well, his first album came out in 1976, and his most recent album came out in 2009, and the rural route is what he takes. So it's The Rural Route 7609. It's like an address. But in August, we'll see his second release of the summer, a brand new CD called No Better Than This. Max Weinberg has confirmed what has been a rumor for a very long time. There is an E Street Band version of Bruce Springsteen's 1982 solo effort, Nebraska. He told Rolling Stone magazine it really kicked ass. It was really just a rockin' album, but Bruce decided to put it out as an acoustic. Somewhere in a recording studio in America, that album exists, and one day we might get to hear it. Now, cue the spooky music.
My name is George Harrison. The Beatles were a worldwide phenomenon. But there's much more to the story.
It seems the only thing that won't die is this story. It's a DVD documentary called Paul McCartney Really Is Dead, and here's what it's based on. These documentarians, if you want to call them that, claim that they got these tapes of George Harrison telling the whole story on how Paul actually died in 1966 in a car wreck, and they put a double in his place. Why? MI5, the British spy agency, you know, the one that James Bond works for. They claim that they covered this whole thing up because they were afraid Beatle fans would start committing suicide like crazy if they found out Paul McCartney was actually dead. This DVD actually goes on to suggest that John Lennon's death may not have been because of a crazed fan, but that he was about to tell the truth. Wow. Is David Bowie calling it a career? Well, in the New York Times last week, there was an article on Iman, his model wife, where he said that he has no plans of touring. He's very comfortable right now, doesn't want to tour at all, hasn't put an album out since 2003, hasn't toured since 2004, and he spends his time drawing and collecting 20th century British art. David was recently seen at that Jeff Beck show we told you about a couple of weeks ago, the tribute to Les Paul. And that does it for us. There's your Classic Rock update for this week, brought to you by Malvern Federal Savings Bank. I'm John DeBella. I'll see you weekday mornings on the radio. Classic Rock 102.9 MGK. Grr.